Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. Welcome to Boots on the Ground. Our small business of the day is actually a writer. He wrote this book. The stories tell the readers about different marine creatures, about seabirds to whales, the different species, where they live, what they eat, the funny stories about each of these creatures that I dealt with when working with the Rhode Island Fish and Wildlife for 21 years. It's a small book. It's about 55 pages. It's definitely for children. My little guys like it. So, you can pick this up at a lot of locations: Amazon, Walmart, Christian book distributors. I'll put some links for you so you can check it out if you have little guys and gals. But it's a good, clean family book. I'll also put a link down to our store. The official Practical Survival store is finally up and running. There's a lot of medical supplies there. Some of these medical supplies will not be restocked. So we got a few hundred of this and a few hundred of that. And when they're gone, but we're passing on the huge savings to you to take advantage of those. So I'll put a link to that. Let's get right into Boots on the Ground. If you have anything you could add, please send it to southernprepper1, the number 1, at yahoo.com. I was one that chimed in a few months back after a massive amount of ships at anchor waiting to get into the port of Savannah. I'm back home in Southern California working on a tug in Los Angeles Harbor. Last year this time, there was 60 ships at anchor outside the breakwater waiting to offload into the port of Long Beach in Los Angeles. Today there are 7. Seems exceptionally barren. Usually there are at least a few dozen ships. So yes, shipping is affected. This person said, I took the off ramp from a busy highway. Standing at the red light at the top of a ramp was a young lady wearing a long dress with a scarf wrapped around her face. She was holding a sign that said, I am pregnant and need help. She was very aggressively walking up to cars displaying her signs. I felt the desire to help but resisted. I wondered if I did the right thing. The light turned green. I took a left and drove over the bridge. And on the off-ramp on the other side of the highway was another girl dressed exactly the same with a similar sign. I realized it was a scam. Anyone begging money at a red light is a scam, no matter what the picture looks like. There are many avenues to obtain assistance if you have legitimate needs. Standing at a red light is not one of them. Yes, we need to use wisdom and discernment trying to help people because the scams are just getting increasing as people become more desperate. So use wisdom, please. That's why I like to donate to, causes that I know they're doing a good thing, like the food pantry in my area. Find a cause and support it 100%. This person says, I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, for 40 years. This is the first time they canceled the car and truck show. They sent me a link. It seems like a supply chain issue is leading to the cancellation of this show. Probably also there's a lot of economic hardships going on in there, and this could be a way to save some money. There's a labor strike is beginning at the major European oil refinery. So this is not good news for them, especially when it deals with any type of diesel. So we have numerous problems occurring all over the world. The stockpile of fuel in Northwest Europe is really, I think, at a record low right now. This person says, we live in the Blue Ridge Mountains of western North Carolina, so not far from me. It's cold up here. I called our local fuel oil company a few days ago, and I was quoted $7.05 per gallon for K1 fuel. The last time I bought K1 up here, it cost us $2.59 per gallon. Hard times are here. This is from Central Florida. I wonder if you could please make an announcement at the start of every Boots on the Ground report, reminding your viewers that when they post something, please include the city and state. A lot of people are sharing great information, but I agree. Please send that city and state. If it's really a problem, just send the state. If you're trying to protect your job, just use in the South, in the West, whatever it takes. This person says, we traditionally feed wild birds all season long. We feed 99% black sunflowers. Our chickens now love it as a treat. We have not purchased any lately and went to set up for starting to feed this winter. I was startled. We were going to have to pay $24 to $27. Well, excuse me. They paid $24 to $27 last season. Now it's $32 for a 40-pound bag in Kansas. My dad has said the same thing. Wild feed for the birds have just gone crazy. And they also said not long ago we were only paying $17. So from $17, which is very affordable, you can feed your birds, but when it comes up to $32 and you feed a lot, it's really going to bite into your budget. I'm not sure we can sustain feeding the birds this year. We can go through a bag every couple of weeks without the chickens, and that will really strap our budget. This was an article about the globalization of the U.S. economy has crippling impact on American towns as free trade moves jobs overseas. A federal report details. Ross Perot and many other people have been talking about this. Jobs are going overseas, and our living standards will eventually collapse from this. And we're seeing some of that right now. This is from Eastern Pennsylvania. In that region. We gifted one of our homeless people we work with a pair of new winter boots. He got good news that he and his girlfriend, his children, should be getting furnished housing through a group called Family Promise in our area in the next several weeks, as now they're living in a hotel room. It's become very cold and snowy here very quickly. We were in one of our local restaurants supply stores the other day that we frequent for prepping food, and they were marked low on bags of sugar and vegetables, markedly low. There were definitely empty spaces on the shelves for the first time. So this is the Eastern Pennsylvania shortages showing up. We visited family and friends, and many people mentioned many of the restaurants are not serving Thanksgiving dinner because of the turkey shortage. And they said they heard this information from us, and they looked stunned and said, "What turkey shortage?" So there's two types of people out there. There's people that are in the know, that know what's going on, and then there's people that are just living life blind to what's going to slap them in the face very hard very soon. This is about the rail strike. This was a great article. It was CNBC. I'll put the actual link to it. CNBC.com. Great article. With unions aligned, the timeline for rail strike and railroad emergency prep is now clear. And I'll summarize the article. That was a great article. Really summed up what's going on with the rails. Key points. 4 rail unions have aligned on a potential national strike date of December 9th. With the Signalman Union agreeing to move back its date in coordination with other unions that rejected the labor deal. Railroads begin preparing for a strike 7 days ahead of that date. Chemicals take priority in rail strike preps, with transportation of the sensitive cargo stopping 96 hours before strike. The railroad industry expects economic damage of $2 billion per day. Other industry groups have warned of a direct hit to the GDP and inflation increase. So go read this article. They did a great job of just highlighting everything. This person said, "Hi, I had a meeting with my financial advisor through my credit union where I have my retirement IRA. I am already retired. The advisor stated that they have CDs with 3.25% interest for 15 months, which is a good rate. He continued to say that the credit union was in desperate need of cash." Really? Question mark. "This doesn't give me a sense of security at all. I'm working on a new plan since the government gave banks and credit unions the go-ahead to do a bail-in because there weren't going to be a bail-out. A bail-in is where they can basically commandeer any and all money in personal accounts. We are all balancing on the edge of a sharp knife, I think. This isn't just our problem. This is a world's problem." This person says, "Just returned from Missouri to southern New Mexico." So they went from Missouri to southern New Mexico. One place I stopped to get some food had 3 men working there that were definitely 60 plus of years of age. I was a bit surprised, but remember what you said about that. I also found gas for under $3 through central Arkansas and all over Texas. Yeah, elderly people are going back to work. Their Social Security, their retirement checks are not cutting it. And there's so many jobs that younger people don't want, so they're finding jobs. This is interesting. I knew this was going to happen. This is Minnesota. Over 200% price increase. 2 weeks ago, turkeys were $1.18 at my local Walmart. This week, they were $2.42. I expect turkeys to be high. Turkeys were cheap because people wanted to get you in there to their store to buy the turkey and then buy everything to go with it. But I think turkey prices will go up. You were not going to see them for 59 or 89 cents, I don't think, anymore. We live in Virginia. Our son had a serious heart condition for which he had to have a PET scan scheduled. It was postponed for almost a month because they didn't have the dye for the test, and this was a major hospital. This is interesting. I've worked in the supply chain since graduating college in 2018. I've been in the trucking / logistical and manufacturing. I was the food and beverage manufacturing in 19 through 22, corporate level, dealing with demand, supply chain, and finances. I had customers like Procter & Gamble, Churches, DeWitt, Pepsi, Coke, Ocean Spray, etc. I've been in the electronic manufacturing since April of 2022. In 2020, corporations, the leadership team saw the demand from COVID and thought it was the new normal. So significant investments were made to support the new normal business. As we rolled into 2022, that demand was never coming to fruition, and we had excessive capacity where we didn't need it. To make matters worse, the businesses that declined during COVID start to come back. Those were often smaller customers who were pushed out in favor of massive corporations. At this point, customers were chasing their own tail, trying to fill demand and forecast unrealistic highs. Demand has fallen well below the 2019 level. While the supply chain is messed up, inflation is largely due to very poor investment and decisions by the leadership team to drive increased profits. Those poor decisions are going to keep hitting company profits for years. We have major deflationary pressure starting to appear if demand keeps dropping. With credit card uses at an all-time high and interest rates rapidly accelerating after the holiday, demand is going to crater. Businesses are also pulling back investments rapidly and canceling orders. Sales figures are coming in higher because things cost more. But net demand, total items sold, is turning down rapidly. This feels like the run-up right after the 1929 crash. Hope I am wrong. Yeah, I think things are going to get to a point where we will have no demand for things because people won't have money, and then you're going to, if you're holding cash, be able to get some good deals. I usually don't go to the mall for food, but holiday traffic kept me from my usual spot. The burger joint I went to asked me if I wanted to pay with my face. Yes, the cashier said, you can now link your photo to your payment card and just pay with your face. All the restaurants are starting to do it. I thought the option to pay with my palm at Amazon-owned Whole Food Market was strange enough, but this, well, let's just say I felt very uncomfortable using my card in front of the camera that was attached to her register, even after declining to pay with my face. And then she sent me pictures. You literally can pay with your face. If you don't think end times could come quickly with the technology they're putting out, then I can't help you. I live near Seattle, Washington, and yesterday I met my adult children for a birthday celebration at an ice cream shop. For 7 scoops of ice cream that we ate standing up, the bill came to, wait for it, $68 with a tip. My adult daughter had an infection in her finger. The urgent care clinic had a wait of 6 hours for her to be seen by a nurse practitioner. They did take her name and number and called her when it was her turn to come in. So she didn't have to wait on site. The practitioner drained her sore, wrote her prescription for antibiotics. The bill was $500, not counting the cost of the medicine. She told me that it cost an arm and a leg, but it was worth it. I told her at least she still has her finger. This was March. I bought 12 cans of Swanson Chicken a la King from Amazon, $11.75 for 12 cans. I went to buy today the same thing, the same quantity, $23.75. That is over 100% increase in a half a year. This person wrote, we haven't paid for dog food in years. We live in Colorado and now we're in Arizona. And from our experience, Petco throws away dog and cat food returns and bags of food that are damaged in the store. We found so much food we were able to give much away through Facebook Marketplace. Many 20 to 40 pound bags of quality food just tossed into the dumpster behind all the Petcos simply because the bag is torn or the food was returned for various reasons. If you have a Petco near you, simply check the dumpster behind the store each week. The best time is the day prior to the trash pickup. If you can determine the day. If the dumpster is empty when you arrive, simply go a day early to find free food. Some days we picked up 4 or 5 20 to 40 pound bags from the trash. I'm surprised they don't donate it to rescue missions. We've never had an issue with employees or security. We've always been respectful, never leaving a mess behind. This is from Ohio, Northeast Ohio. I keep hearing of egg shortages, but hardly ever check the eggs at the store because we have chickens. Today I noticed that there was no eggs at Walmart, no milk either. I sent my kids over to my neighbor's house with some eggs. She sent back a very grateful text saying eggs are like gold dust right now. I'm glad I can help them. Also, with the rising feed costs, I decided to raise chickens to sell. So far, they're covering the cost of the feed, both for themselves and my flock for the year. Just an idea that might help other listeners with their feed costs. This is from Kansas. I went to the dentist a week ago for my 6-month cleaning. Normally, after your appointment, they give you a small bag with a toothbrush and a toothpaste without even asking. I thought this was something all dentist offices did, but I could be wrong. The last time they asked me if I needed a toothbrush or toothpaste, so they actually asked me if I needed it. It caught me by surprise, and I wish I would have asked if that's something they're doing now, asking all patients. I mentioned this to my in-laws, and they said their dentist also did the same thing the last time they were there. Maybe it's because so many use battery-powered toothbrush now. I'm not sure. It just made me wonder if this is their way of cutting back, maybe. The free toothbrush and toothpaste might be a thing of the past. My children go in about a month, so I'm interested to see what the office does. Not a huge deal, but I guess it could be for some. I just found this interesting and wanted to share. Mine get free toothbrush and toothpaste. I need to go very soon. I don't know when, which is within a couple weeks. And I will tell you if I get offered one or if they just hand it to me in that little bag like they always do. The other day I was shopping in a well-known Asian market that's part of a grocery chain. I was about to grab a head of lettuce when I saw the price of over $8 a head. We're not going in a good direction. I'm sad to say that I have not received a tax refund that was filed in April of 2022. I can't help but wonder if it's because of our political affiliation, ? We're living paycheck to paycheck and need the money owed to us. We cannot get a response from IRS no matter how many times we tried. Are any of your followers experience the same problem? I had a buddy that filed, and he literally got it a couple weeks ago. I think he filed before April or right at the start of it. So you might need to wait a little bit longer, but if anyone knows how they could call someone, a number, see if they could speed this up, because when you need money, and they have some money owed to them. They have a very small place up in Arkansas, and last Thursday we went up there to do some more work to get ready for retirement. While we were there, my husband went into town to exchange 2 20-pound propane tanks and to purchase 2 more. There was nothing available anywhere for propane. Walmart was out, Dollar Store was out, Co-op was out, Atwood was out, and none of them had any idea when they would be getting any more. Had it not been for our little buddy heater, we would have been extremely hard keeping warm in our little trailer. The temperature got down to 21 degrees at night. I went into town 3 days later, and still no one had propane or tanks available. Just want to share this with you so you can pass it along to others. If you need any type of fuel for the winter, get it now, please. This person is a grandma in North Carolina. Today, a very kind lady from church unexpectedly brought me and my family things to help with Thanksgiving. I was so grateful and thanked her. Kindness is all around us. It hasn't left. And let's finish it out. There's a ministry in my town that gives gently used clothes and new underwear and socks to kids that need them. The organization is well loved and always been supported by our community. The organization just posted photos on social media begging for help. They showed the shelves where the organized clothes would go. The shelves were 100% empty. They said the upsurge in people needing clothes was so great it wiped them out completely. This is the first time it's done this. So please ask your viewers if they have anything their family has grown out of or don't need, donate it to any good cause that can use it. She also went on to say, when I was little, my mother was divorced, a mother of 3. We struggled to get by. The winters were especially hard for us kids. So she just wanted you to know that she received some help when she was very young, and it really touched her and blessed her. And she wants others to say, it does make a difference. You might have something that you could give someone, give it. You might not need it, but someone desperately does need it to stay warm this winter. Thanks for watching.